speaking on something that he mentioned, the whole alpha male thing that you're talking about, I really don't subscribe to, because as a grown man,
I don't really subscribe to it either, dude. You know, but if you had to put it on there and say, what do we view as leadership qualities? What do we view as these so-called alpha male qualities that these people keep talking about? That they aren't able to manage those qualities themselves. Okay?
that is taking care and raised 3 children and have 5 grandchildren, does that qualify you as an alpha male?
Well, if you've taken care, there's the key word though. You've taken care of them. You've taken care of your children. You raised them up to be adults. You led that family, your family. That's the key there, right?
No, I don't believe so, because there's a lot of people that have kids out here that are still kids themselves.
Okay, and there are a lot of people out there who have kids who do not take care of those children. Are they qualified? No, they would not be qualified. I mean, they do not have those characteristics. They do not have those abilities, right?
On top of that, and you kind of lost me with that whole I'm a Democrat. And
Okay, if I lean Democrat in most areas, you know, except for like the Second Amendment and things, certain things, you know, it just depends on how you view it. You know, like if you wanted the truth of the matter, people should have 4 parties. We should have 4 parties because people are you know, fiscally conservative, fiscally liberal. They're, you know, there's 4 categories, you know. Like, I really don't give a shit what you do, you know, what women do with their bodies. If they want to have abortions or they want to do this or they want to, it's none of my fucking business. You know, that's where I'm Democrat leaning. Military defense and things like that to a certain degree, you know, I don't want to get in a bunch of fucking wars I don't want to be in. You know, I don't have any desire to get into any of these wars that they love to get into. They love to fucking get into these bullshit wars that cost trillions of dollars. You know, there's certain things that, you know, that I would say that Trump did well, and there's certain things that he just didn't do well. He didn't do well at all. You know, disbanding, you know, certain things that could have helped us prepare for this pandemic, you know, that he disbanded that shit. You know, this idea that, oh, well, I support Biden, that's just not true. I actually stated quite the opposite, and you fucking sit here and you turn around and you say, oh, well, I supported Biden. No, I didn't. I didn't support Trump either, though. I don't like either one. And you want to say that he's an alpha male, he's not an alpha male. Trump is not an alpha male, in my opinion. You know, I'd have to say he has those qualities because he does take care of his children and shit, right? You know, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, just because y'all eat his dick, you know, doesn't mean that I have to eat his dick. I don't view the man like that.
you support Joe Biden type shit, and you're talking about an alpha male when clearly our last president, like it or not, was definitely what you would consider an alpha male. It's where Biden.
Clearly an alpha male. No, he clearly wouldn't. You know, I mean, if you can make it into the presidency, I mean, I have to give you your props to a certain degree or another. You're a leader of men, which would be an alpha male kind of quality, right? One way or another, you're leading people, right? Do I think that he's a good leader? No, I don't. I don't think he's a good leader. I don't think he has any good qualities to him. You know, he's got some really negative qualities. You know, he really does, in my opinion.
Which you support. Literally don't even know where he's at today.
You're saying that I support Biden? No, I don't support Biden. That's where you get it. You got me fucked up. I don't like either one of the bastards. If they had another option somewhere out there, you know, I would have went with the other option between the 2 bastards. You know, if you had it today, I'd go with the third option. They don't have a third option. You know, they just don't. I don't know what to tell you. We got this damn two-party system. If you had like a four-party system like it probably should be, it really should be, you know, because people feel differently about different things, different issues, right? And two parties just ain't enough to split up those issues. And that's just the way it is.
I mean, maybe a few years ago, when he had his cognitive skills, you might have been able to consider him a leader. But at this point right now, all he is a sheep being herded up and corralled into whoever his handlers want him to do.
What Biden is or Biden isn't, that really has nothing to do with it. I'm going over presidents in the past in general. Who the people, a majority of the people voted for. You know, did a majority of the people vote for Trump? No, they didn't in either election. He won by the the other way. He didn't win the popular vote. Trump has never won the popular vote. End of story. I mean, but that really is politics. That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You're going off the rails on the shit that has nothing to do with what the fuck I'm talking about. What do each one of these presidents, every president we've ever had, from the beginning of the United States have in common? They've been voted into office, right? And they all have certain things in common. Almost all of them have a wife and have a family. Every fucking one of them. Every one of them. Except for one. One, right before the Civil War, we had one for 4 years that was a bachelor, that was never married, and never had any children. We had one president like that. Ever. Ever. You know, Blake brought up, you know, all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm saying there. You know, we got all these people with no responsibility to their life. And y'all know what I'm saying is true. That's why y'all are in an uproar about it. We got these people with no responsibility, whether you're talking about the cuck, whether you're talking about Lycan theory, whether you're talking about, you know, Shangy even, or you're talking about any of these dudes that talk about this alpha male bullshit. All these fucking dudes have no responsibility whatsoever to their life. And you know that's not an alpha male quality. That's not an alpha male quality at all. People with no responsibility to their life, who can't even hardly be responsible for their own fucking actions or their own selves, is not alpha male quality whatsoever. And you know what I'm saying is right. You know it's true. You know it's true. That's why y'all are in an uproar about it. That's why Blake's up in an uproar about it. I'm just saying.
So that was a pretty poor excuse for being an alpha male, JT. But my one word of advice is, I mean, I get people put your name in the shit and this, that, and the third. But as a supposed alpha male, in my opinion, a true alpha male don't judge other males because they really don't give a fuck.
Okay, if that's the case, then I guess you're judging Joe Biden, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is, males, alpha or otherwise, judge other males all the time. They judge other females. They judge everybody. You're full of shit. If you ain't judging somebody or figuring some shit out about somebody or figuring out what makes them work or what makes them tick, you're not even alive. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't make any fucking sense, dude, with your bullshit. And I'm just putting it out there straight up. We judge everything. Everybody judges everything. Alpha male or otherwise. What the fuck are you talking about? We don't give a shit. No, everybody gives a shit about everything. And they look at everything. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You're full of shit. You're just making shit up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe lay off the fucking sauce a little bit, bud. I'm just saying.
What other males think or do. Just saying.
They don't give a shit about what other males think or do. Sure they do. Sure they do. If they didn't give a fuck about what other thought or did, they just fucking let anybody do anything. Anybody would be president. Oh, well, that guy seems good. You know? Let's make the cuck president. You know? Just saying. You're sitting here steadily judging Joe Biden like a motherfucker. You just so full of shit, dude. You just don't like what I'm saying because you know it's true. And you sitting here and you follow like in Legion, or you follow this person or you follow that person because you're a weak man and you can't think for yourself. And that's on you. It really is. You got to follow somebody. I don't have to follow any of these people. That's fucking insanity. You know, do I like to go have a good time, you know, and fucking talk some shit? Sure. But I mean, I ain't following these dudes. I ain't actually listening to what the fuck they're saying about this dumb shit that they talk about. You know? And it's fucking stupid, and you fucking know it. You fucking know it. Just saying.